Hi, today we're very happy to welcome Mark Evans, Managing Director of McConaughey Boats in China. How are you coping with lockdown over there, Mark?
Lockdown over here is not too bad, to be honest. Yeah, we're pretty free, and other than moving into China, currently in quarantine, everything's functioning as normal.
Right, so when do you get back to the factory yourself?
In the factory next week in about 3 or 4 days' time. So my quarantine got extended to 21 days. So it's been a bit of a stint in a hotel room.
Yeah, that's not a hotel room there behind you, is it? What are we looking at there?
That is one of our multi-hulls that we've built. It's a 90-foot custom yacht.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a beautiful job. Absolutely.
Lovely interior.
Yeah.
Mark, I know McConaughey's very well established in the custom race boat scene, particularly perhaps in your neck of the woods, your original neck of the woods, but perhaps less well known over here. Do you think you could just give us a little bit of a background to McConaughey and the projects you've been working on so far?
Yep, sure. What I might do is share my screen and show you an image or a couple of images of yachts that we have built in the past. So this is where we've been. So most of our building career has been building custom high performance race yachts. So this is a 100-foot maxi. This is Wild Oats. It's a 9-times winner of the Sydney to Hobart. It's full carbon Nomex canting keel. And this is like the pinnacle of the racing yachts in the world. And we've been lucky enough to be able to be in that segment of the marketplace, and we've built many maxis.
That's beautiful.
So we're
China?
No. I'm sorry?
Sorry, Mark, I was just saying, was she built in the same premises where you are now?
No, this yacht was the last sort of boats that I built before I came to China. We've built maxis since I've been in China. But in China, we've built many race yachts. We actually built the Chinese America's Cup boat. We have built the Green Dragon Volvo boat. And many other high performance racing yachts have come out of the facility in China. So the staff here and my team, which we've been established for over 16 years now, are very highly skilled in high-tech yacht building.
Yeah, clearly. So McConaughey catamarans, this is what we're here to talk about. They were launched 2-3 years ago now. I remember first seeing it as a photograph and a rendering on a display at Düsseldorf Boat Show and thinking, wow. So starting to gain some momentum now. How many projects have you got on the go at the moment?
We have 4 projects under the construction at the moment, with 4 contracts pending. So the factory is actually quite busy. It had a little bit of slowdown with the COVID, but the inquiry level has actually been quite strong since.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been quite good. I mean, some people sort of have asked us in the past, moving from monohulls to multi-hulls, where's your experience lie? And well, we actually have built a lot of multi-hulls in the past. We've probably built about 8 or 10, and one of the largest ones would be this image here I can share, which is a power multi-hull, which is a Dastra. So this boat has circumnavigated multi times around the world, and is pretty iconic in the industry. So, and this power trimaran is 144 feet and was built in the Chinese facility.
That is that's quite a yacht. And so the McConaughey catamaran range, as they're being marketed now, what's the size range, and what sort of theme is common through that range, and what are the main kind of the features that you're representing there?
We initially started off, we have currently we have a 52-foot version, and then we jumped to a 60-foot, and then we have a 68 and 77. So we also go all the way up to 90, but that's very much a custom build. So, and then we also have a powerboat range as well in the multi-hulls in this styling, which we have a 59, which is a long range multi-hull, power multi-hull, up to 3,000 nautical miles. And then we have a larger volume 63, it's probably, you know, 1/3 more volume, only in a few feet. And it's a semi-foiling multi-hull, a lot more horsepower, a lot faster. Can be up to 36 knots and has a range of about 1,800 nautical miles. And that the reason that it's semi-foiling is because that it can save up to 30% fuel burn.
That's crazy. And that just goes to show what you can do with two hulls, doesn't it? They can be, you know, they're so slippery, and you can make them go fast. You can make them go further. You can get quite a lot out of a multi-hull design.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see by this image here, you can see the carbon fiber that we use in the boat, and that's all around the high load areas of the boat. And that I mean, we're coming from a Grand Prix racing pedigree, so these boats we build are super light, and everything that we think about is all about weight. And if you can build a light boat, and generally the boat should be fast.
So where do you think these, you know, on the scale between, you know, comfort and performance? I can see, looking at the image here of the cats on the line, they look like they've got some hull volume. They look like they've got reasonable size interiors. So it looks like you're trying to provide a little bit more comfort than your raceboat customers are used to.
Yeah, I just skipped through quickly to an interior shot. Here we go. So this is the interior of the 60, this MC60 sailing. And you can see that the interior, we don't hold back. The interior is customized to the client's wishes. All the interior panels are foam sandwiched and lightweight. Yeah, it's you know, it's a beautiful space. It has all the facilities for air conditioning. It has dishwasher, washing machine. So there's nothing, we haven't held back anywhere. So the way we think about the boat is that we wanted to put a luxury interior with space, and spend the weight on the comfort, but take our basically where we've been with our race yachts and pull the weight out of everything else. So you end up with a very high performing yacht, but with a beautiful interior. The most important thing that I've found with our clients so far is that they want to perform in light breeze. So these boats can go very quick if you want them to, but what they do is they sail in 6 knots of breeze, and if you're off the breeze a little bit, the boat will do 6 knots. So, but they're more than capable of doing a lot more. You know, these boats, both have had multiple boats of our range hitting 27 knots plus with ease. And the client said one hand on the steering wheel, you know, shipping a glass of champagne at the same time. So it was very enjoyable for them.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And it was, as you say, light wind sailing is really important. You know, a lot of boats go to the Med where the winds are light a lot of the time, and if you're, you know, if you switch the engines on the minute you leave the harbour, then the whole experience becomes a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, that was, you know, the brief from a lot of our clients is that they may have owned multi-hulls or mono-hulls in the past, and they say that they want to enjoy sailing, and, you know, and that's what we can deliver. So I think that's the key to our yachts.
Upwind performance, always a big question mark with cruising catamarans. I hear you've done something quite clever with the keels, Mark.
Yeah. So what we've done is, I just have to flick through my photos, I'm sorry,
No worries.
is we use centerboards on our yachts, and that's a 3.2 meter draft on our 60. So this is a proper fin. These are carbon
3.2.
fiber. Yeah, total draft. So, I mean, you can see the section of this shape. This is not your typical board. This is a racing board that we have put into a luxury boat. So basically we've dressed this boat as a racing shell with volume, and we've then dressed it in a luxury finish. So all the appendages on the boat are definitely performance driven. So the way that this operates is that it pivots on a pin on a hydraulic ram. So this is the hydraulic ram here, and this is inside the boat, and that ram pushes a lever arm, which pushes the board up and down in a cavity in the bottom of the boat. And you can see here that it's on a Harken track. So what we have a shear pin here. So if the board hits something, that shear pin will fail, and the ram will slide forward and capture it inside the boat, and the board will pivot up. And then all you have to do is go back down below, push this back into this place, push the old pin out, put the new shear pin in, and you're sailing again with next to no damage. So this is one of the, it's a fuse. Yep, we blow a fuse. So this is one of the safety features that we have on our boat, because it draws a lot of depth, and there's a chance that somebody might hit something. So we built this safety feature into the boards.
Yeah, that's a stroke of genius. And getting 3.2 meters draft, you've got some real upwind performance potential there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the keel going into the box, the centerboard going into the box there.
Yeah, so we build the boxes all external of the boat because they're quite complex. We actually operate them on the factory floor, and then we come back and then we secondary bond and all that component into the yacht afterwards.
Clever stuff. So how does it work? You're obviously a custom builder, but you're trying to establish a kind of a given range of boats now. How does the process work if someone comes to you and says, build me a McConaughey catamaran? Is it a complete a la carte custom process, or are you guiding them through certain preset options? How does the process?
Yeah, I mean, if you pick up our specification and brochure, we try and guide people, sort of head them down a certain direction, because it's very difficult to start with a blank piece of paper. So we have 3 themes of interior finishes, fabrics and veneers and so forth. We might have Hong Kong, Sweden, or whatever it may be. And then so we can guide them down that path, and then the client can actually mix all those fabrics and veneers up if they would like. And so we give them a palette, and then they can blend that palette, or they can actually tell us what fabrics they would like, and we'll import them if that's the case. So we're very customized when it comes to finishes. And then also, basically, we have a whole platform with a set geometry with the internal structure, and if a client wants to take it even further, we can change the interior to a degree, as much as we can, to what they would like. So we this is another project, this is a monohull that we worked on. It sort of explains a process. So, we give a general layout at the beginning, something to start from, and then we work with the client, and between us, we start marking up our general layout. We take notes and we draw on it. And then from those notes, we generate a 3D model. And then from that model, if the client is happy with the general 3D image, we go down to stage 3, where we start to render it. And then we can look at finishes, different fabrics and touches, carbon fiber, whatever the client likes. And if something's missing, like a kickboard or something, we can add it to it. And then we end up with a final rendering, as you can see with number 4, of an image, a 3D image that's all rendered to the client's wishes. Now, this whole process is what we would do with every single client. And this is all done in-house. And we're trying to take that one step further, is that now we've got this model where our goal is to be able to put that into a VR goggles, and then we could send the goggles, or the client could purchase those, and the client could actually walk through their boat. So that's our next step in working with a client to customize their yacht.
That's very clever, I guess, especially given, you know, where you are, and with current travel restrictions, being able to connect people in that way must be really helpful for both sides. How do you keep the client in touch with the build process along the way? I mean, I'm sure that, you know, they're always very keen to see what's going on in the yard. How do you report during the build process?
We're very, very rigorous on our reporting. We have a document that goes out every single week, and the document, you know, varies in size from anything from 10 pages to 20, depending on the size of the vessel we're building and the complexity of it. So that has a report of, you know, what we've achieved, the delivery date, what our goals are for next week, what variations or changes are happening, what variations or changes are being signed off, any requests from the client, whether it's to do with a finish or a color or whatever it may be, that is documented and reported weekly. And then we have a schedule, and we say how we're going against our build schedule, and that's reported. And then we have a full photographic report of images. We actually fly a drone through our factory and take aerial shots of their product being built. And so they'll end up with 20 images or more on a weekly basis. Yeah. And every single client goes, "We love the report. You report very well." They just think the whole process is fantastic. And they always, you know, we get an email going, "Yeah, looking forward to next week's report."
Yeah.
So very.
So the boat's left the factory, and then we know that multi-hulls have a habit of going a long way from home. They travel far and wide, perhaps more than any other type of yacht. In many ways, they, you know, people live on them, and typically when things go wrong, they're a long way from home. How do you back up your service technically, warranty? How does that work at long range?
I mean, we've got boats in Europe and the US and Australia, and when it comes to Australia, New Zealand, I mean, we still have a company operating out of Australia. So we have a team of over 40 people in our current Australian facility. So if it's in that part of the world, they're well supported. Yeah. With the yachts in the US, we now have, you know, a couple of key people that represent us to service our yachts, whether it's in composite, hydraulic, or electrical, on both the east and west coast. So they're well supported now. And then in Europe, it's I mean, it's people like yourself that support us from in Europe, and we also have personal contacts in Spain and Italy and things like that. So, warranty-wise, you know, if we have to, we're on a plane. You know, when we can travel, we're on a plane to support the client directly. If not, then we call on others to do that.
Yeah, that's great. It's, you know, we know what boats are like. It's how these things are managed that is so important. So that's really good to hear. Mark, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, I was just going to make another statement. Is that with all the boats moving forward, we're giving the boat ability for us to log on when it comes to warranty. So we can actually do electronics updates and so forth if they have any issues, and see what the issues are.
Kind of self-reporting type system.
Yeah, we can log on remotely from anywhere, no matter where the boat, as long as it's got 4G, we can log onto the boat and we can do a diagnostic report.
Oh, that's neat. That's really neat. Mark, I think we need to wrap up there. I really appreciate your time today. Perhaps we can do another one of these a little bit later on. Maybe follow one of the boats you're building along the process. But let's see. I'm sure right now you're keen to get back into the factory and get stuck back in. So we'll leave you alone. Thanks again for your time, and speak soon.
Okay, thanks a lot, Graham.
Thank you, Mark. Cheers. Bye.